Hi, I'm Katie.
And I'm Lucy.
And this is our final reflection for UOSM2033. We have both written reflective blog posts about the rest of reflecting on the topics and reflecting on the module in general, but we thought we'd do a vlog to talk about our various social media accounts and our professional profiles and how we've developed them over the last 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So
where should we start?
Start with LinkedIn.
Yeah, start with LinkedIn. Do you want to start?
Yeah. So on my LinkedIn, I was already on LinkedIn beforehand. I've been on LinkedIn for about 2 years, but I've put a lot more hours into my LinkedIn. I've updated my headline based on some research I've done, and I'm now on an all-star profile, which is meant to be quite good. What about you?
So I started as a beginner and now I'm on expert. So I did have a LinkedIn account before I started the module, but now it's much improved and I've been communicating with quite a lot of different people, been to careers fairs where I've got contact details with different people and been able to connect with them and actually speak with future employers, which is great. Mm-hmm. So
I've also recently been considering a career in copywriting, and so I've been joining lots of copywriting groups and connecting with various copywriters on LinkedIn, which has really given me some food for thought for my future career, which is really exciting. Yeah. Right, so then we've got Twitter. That's a big one. Did you have Twitter before?
I did have Twitter before. It was something I used for personal use, which I used when I was younger, and I started to neglect it, but it's something I really need to embrace again and start using, because it's all about Twitter nowadays, not as much about Facebook, is it? How do you use your Twitter?
Well, I started up my Twitter about 2 or 3 years ago, and I was mostly using it for society things. I was using it for I was involved in RAG, so I was using it to promote events and things, but then, to be honest, since then I hadn't tweeted for a whole year until I started this module. And now I've been using it to connect with, I've got a big interest in travel blogging. I've got a travel blog, so I've been using it to expand my networks in that area, as well as the area of copywriting, and just definitely trying to maintain it as professionally as possible.
I thought it was really useful to use Twitter for when we were blogging, because you could connect with different UOSM2033 bloggers and share each other's ideas, as well as help each other make our blog posts. So a couple of times I think Sophie posted links to different sites and different articles which were really useful in order to write the blog posts, which was a great thing about the module.
Yeah, it was really good helping each other out.
The next one, should we discuss that one?
We'll go for About Me.
About Me.
So did you know About Me before?
No, I didn't. And it's a great tool to put all of your different social media profiles together, and for an employer or anyone to be able to contact any one of your profiles from this About Me page. It's a very important and valuable tool for us in order to get jobs, in order to get our personal brand out there. What about you? Did you have About Me?
I had set up an About Me account just before the module started. I'd heard about it, but I hadn't really used it to its full extent. I hadn't put my blog address on there, or hadn't linked it to all my social media profiles. So I've made sure to do that, and I've been having quite a lot of views. I've had some new interactions with some really interesting people, so I think that's a great, as Lucy said, a great way to have everything in one place.
Okay, and now that brings us to Instagram, which I think we both had before the module started. I use my Instagram just for personal use at the moment, but I do understand that a lot of professionals do use Instagram as part of their professional brand, which is definitely something I'll consider in the future, but at the moment it's definitely more for personal use. It's private, it's only for really my friends, so that's how I use it. I think Katie, you use it in a different way, don't you?
Yeah, I've been using it as part of my travel blogging, so I don't really use Instagram for any personal photos. I only use photos from trips that I've been on, So I don't just, you know, I won't update it with like pictures from a night out or something. It's only kind of relevant photos because that's the kind of following that I have on Instagram. The module has kind of taught me how, in order to get something out of a social network like that, you really have to put stuff in. So I've been doing a lot more, liking a lot of other people's photos more, making kind of relevant and hopefully
hashtags as well,
insightful comments on other people's blogs, other people's accounts, to then get them interested in coming up to my account, building relationships. And hashtags are definitely.
Yeah, I think it's definitely about commenting on other people's Instagram posts as well, because you can't expect everyone to just comment on yours. So in order to spread your brand, you need to interact with people, not just expect them to interact with
and that's definitely something that I've learned from the module. So that's really great. So then obviously another huge one is Facebook, the giant of social media. I can't speak for Lucy, but I've very much kept my Facebook very personal. It's private. I've checked, it's on the highest security settings, and I do share some of my travel blogging things on there, but only so my friends and family can see what I'm getting up to. But no, I would consider setting up a dedicated Facebook page for my travel blogging if it does go well. And I've also used Facebook. I'm the Languages Society president, so I have a Facebook page for that, as well as a Twitter page that I set up for that. So I do use it for kind of in a semi-professional way in some ways, but my personal account is it's for me.
Yes, I use Facebook for personal use as well. I've got the privacy is also up to the highest setting, and I use it to interact with my friends really and family, share different posts. I don't really post on there that much because I don't really have that much to say on there, but I use it as part of the Spanish Latin American Portuguese Society, because I'm part of that society, and I spread news of what we're up to, what events we're putting on, and all of that on Facebook. But I use it for personal use. I don't use it for anything else. And that brings us to the last one.
Yes, so we have
WordPress,
which obviously has been a really huge part of the blogging module.
The experience.
So I personally already had a WordPress. Obviously I have my travel blog, but it's been really good for me to set up another WordPress to play around with a few different themes, and also to do something a bit different, like to blog about something related to all the topics from UOSM rather than just, because obviously my travel blog is dedicated to travel. Have you had any experience with WordPress?
I hadn't had any experience with WordPress. So when I set up my first account, it was so difficult for me. I'd never blogged before. I'd never had a website or anything like that. So it was really foreign to me. And it was actually a very fun experience learning. I remember the first night where I was setting it up, I came here and said to Katie, teach me everything you know about this site. And it's got so much better, and blogging is something that is so undervalued, and something I've really learned from studying the module, that I'm definitely going to start blogging after university to get my personal brand out there and get noticed, really, because it's a great tool in order to actually showcase your skills to employers and to your friends as well.
I would like to go into a career in writing, so it's good to have something there that shows that you can string a sentence together, and that you can write about something interesting, also that you can be committed to something, that you can blog every week, every 2 weeks or whatever, do something consistently.
Learn an awful
I think one of the main things we now appreciate is the importance of consistency. So on the professional profiles we have, so in my case, About Me, Twitter and Instagram, my profile photos are consistent, as are my cover photos, so that it's easy for someone to see that it's me there.
Yeah, definitely. And so is my Facebook and Instagram for personal use. So at the moment they've got different pictures, but Twitter, WordPress, About Me, LinkedIn all has the same photo to create a professional sense. So we should discuss future plans.
So for me, just keep on with the travel blogging, keep on with the Instagramming, keep on building my networks on Twitter and LinkedIn. I feel like this has given me a good solid platform. But obviously, if you don't keep going with this, it's all about consistency.
Yes.
Like, I could easily lose that.
Yeah, definitely. I plan to actually start blogging properly because it's brilliant actually, and I've actually found my blogging voice, which is great. Also, I'm going to use Twitter more, keep using Instagram, keep updating my About Me page, my LinkedIn, and everything. So it's all about keeping up to date, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been great blogging with you, working with you.
And thank you to Lisa and Sarah for all giving us feedback every week, which has been great. And yeah, it's been nice to spend
Some online time with you.
online time with you. Yes.